Hi everyone, it's Wednesday and it's time for class. Who do we have on today? Hi everybody. Hi guys, how is everybody today? We good? Yeah, brilliant. Loads of thumbs ups. Fabulous. Okay guys, so we are painting today. So you're going to need your old clothes or an apron, and you're going to need your water. Don't forget that. And maybe some kitchen roll or toilet paper rolled up just to kind of add as a kind of a sponge just to clean your brushes, okay? So you might need a bit of help. Oh, and Eve has it all sorted. She's got our table covered in her newspaper already. Well done, Eve. And we also need to open all of those paints. So that's the first thing we're going to have to do, okay? So I'm just going to open all those paints while we're waiting on just a few other people to join the class, okay? So I've got a good few things here. Just going to open all my paints up. There's loads of them, so there's 12 paints. Hi guys, hi. For the people who've just joined in, don't forget we're painting today, guys. So we're just opening our paints first. We haven't really missed anything yet. Just opening our paints and getting our water ready for painting. Just making sure we're wearing our aprons or old shirts or whatever over our clothes just so we don't get paint on them. And we're going to need some kitchen roll or some toilet paper just rolled up just so we have something to clean our brushes on, okay? So that's the first thing that we need to get sorted. I can see some parents running around the kitchens there behind you guys getting all the stuff. Fantastic. Thanks very much. Okay, so I've got all my paints open and I have my my piece of kitchen roll to clean my brushes. And I've got my water ready here as well. And of course, we're going to need our paint brushes today. I know that last time we did painting, we used our lovely, for our blow pictures, these guys here, we used our brushes and our straws. We're just using our brushes today, okay? There's 2 in all of your packs. The other things we're going to need today, guys, are the following things. So we're going to need a scissors, as always. We always need a scissors for class. The first thing we're going to need our glue. That's the second thing we're going to need. We're going to need your markers as well. And I'm going to go over all of this again, so don't worry, okay? Markers. Well done. We're going to need a paper plate. Now, some of you have small and big ones in the packs. We're going to use the bigger one today. So just one big one we'll use today. Okay? We also need whatever stickers you have left over from week 2, I think. So I've got a couple of, different shapes. I've got stars and squares here. I think I've got about 10 left. So we're going to use those. If you don't have any stickers left, that's okay too, because I'll show you another way to get around it in a second, okay? We're also going to need a white sheet of paper that's in your pack. Okay? 1 white sheet of paper. Don't worry, guys, I'll go over all of this again in a second, Eve, so don't panic, okay? And we're going to need 1 piece of card in any colour you like, okay? Any colour card you like. All right, I'm going to go over all of that again. Don't worry. Right, first thing we're going to need is your paints, your water, and your paintbrush or paint brushes, and your piece of tissue, okay, or your kitchen roll to clean your brush. Next things we're going to need are your scissors and your glue. Yes?
You said we're going to need...
Exactly, we're going to need those as well. Thanks for reminding me, Eve. Well done. So we are going to need your scissors and we're going to need your glue, okay? We're going to need all of the leftover stickers that you guys have. I have different shapes and sizes here. We're going to need your markers, okay? We're going to need your white paper, 1 sheet of coloured card, and the very last thing we're going to need is 1 of these. So it's a kitchen or toilet roll insert, the cardboard inside of a toilet roll. Now, if you don't have one today, that's absolutely fine. We can show you what to do and you can add it to the arts and crafts afterwards. So don't panic if you don't have one handy, okay? Now, I know I said to have 2 ready, That's because I think some of you might want to make a second one of these as a gift for someone or a present. So just in case you want to do 2, you'd need 2. So if you're only going to do one of the projects, you only need 1 for now, okay? But it's always handy to have one of these in your little box anyway, because these are great things for arts and crafts. Okay, so the very, very first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you what we're making today, obviously. Okay, so what we're making are these really cool Dinosaur Desk organisers, okay? And what makes it a desk organizer is there's lots of little spaces in here to pop little things in, okay? It's just hard to show you on my hand in the air. But there's a space in between here as well at the back for cards and things you might want to keep, pieces of paper. And there's more slots at the back here for your for all your stuff, for your desk organisers. We have one here on our desk at home, which we're calling the homeschooling desk organizer is what we're calling it. Okay, so there's lots of little sections that you can hold things in. This is the one I made yesterday in class. And I made kind of a rainbow one the day before in green. And I had some help painting from my son. So there's a good few different things we can do with these cool desk organisers, okay? And they're also really handy. They make really nice gifts as well, I have to say. Because a lot of the shops are only selling essential items at the moment. So I'm finding it really difficult to find little birthday presents or something more than just a card for people. So I think it's a really nice little thing to have. So if you wanted to make a mini one as a present for someone, that would be nice too. That's why I was saying to have a second one, just in case. Okay. Right. Will we get started? Are we ready to go? Give me the thumbs up if you're ready to go. Fantastic. Okay. Very first thing we're going to do is we're going to take your paper plate and we're going to paint it. Now, here's a trick with the paper plate. We need this to dry quickly. Okay. So don't go mad with the paint. It's the opposite thing that I say to the glue. Go mad with the glue, don't go mad with paint, okay? The more paint you put on, the longer it takes to dry. Isn't that right? Yeah. So when you're just choosing a colour, you can do one colour or you can do lots of colours like a rainbow. You can do whatever you want on your paper plate. Just don't do layers and layers and layers of paint because it'll take forever to dry, okay? When you're painting something and you want it to dry quickly, when you dip your brush into the paint, if you scrape off half of it on the top of your jar of paint, it gives you enough paint to do quite a lot. A lot of people make the mistake of just doing the big gloop of paint and then it doesn't dry. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm only going to do one colour on mine, but if you guys want to do lots of colours on yours or a design or a pattern on yours, that's cool. Just remember, we'll be cutting the plate in half in the middle. So don't do anything fancy in the middle because we'll miss it when we cut it in half. So if you're going to do something fancy, maybe around the edges would be better. Okay? But that's up to you. It's your design. All right, so I'm going to choose a colour today. I think I'm going to do red, I think, because I like red. So you can see I've got lots of paint on my brush and I'm just scraping off half of it there on one half. And I'll still have lots of paint. And I'm going to start in the middle of mine. And I'm just going to start painting away. So you can start away there, guys, just painting away to your heart's content. I can barely hear you. Did you have a question?
Which side of the plate do we paint?
Oh, the bit you eat off of normally. So the inside, really. Yeah, there you go. That's a good question. I suppose I should have started with that, shouldn't I? Yeah, so you're painting the middle or the centre of the plate. The bit you would eat off of if you were going to eat off this plate, okay? So that's the bit you're doing. So you can take your time with this, guys. You can do a design or a pattern, anything you like. It's up to you. Like every week, it's your design. So anything you like, okay? I'm just doing kind of a plain one because I have to get mine done in the 40 minutes. But you could always go back and do something fancy on yours if you wanted to, okay? Another little hint, I suppose, is if you're going to do like a detail on the paint, you might think about using your markers to do the details when the paint dries rather than doing more paint on top of it. It will just dry quicker and it's a little bit neater if you wanted to do that. And it's quite easy to use the markers when the paint is dry. So that's a nice idea. And yesterday we had one of the girls in the Tuesday class and she had little stamps at home, little stampers. And when the paint dried, she sent me a picture last night of, she stamped a little design on it after class. So that was nice. So you can always use little arts and crafts things you might have at home as well. So you don't always have to stick to what I send you. You can, if you have things at home you'd like to add, you can do that. There's no problem. Okay. So I've got the middle of mine done. I'm just going to do the edges. But I'm really fast at painting. I've had lots of practice. So don't worry if you're not as fast as me, okay? And like I said, I only have 40 minutes to do this craft. You have as long as you like after class. So that's okay. Don't forget, guys, as well. Yeah. Was there a question?
Is your third rule for this week? Don't you use a whole bunch of paint? Is that your third rule for this week?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, don't use a whole lot of paint. Exactly. That's like my third rule. What are my other 2 rules, Eve? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are they?
Lots and lots and chalk.
Yeah.
Lots of glue and lots of chocolate.
Yeah. Fact. They're my favorite too.
I really like the second one.
Yeah, and we're coming up to Easter now, so there'll be lots of chocolate after Lent. There'll be loads of chocolate. So, and coming up to Easter. Yeah,
I don't
so it's
want chocolate for Lent, so I'll have a whole bunch for Easter.
nice. That's a good idea. Yeah, so lots and lots and lots of glue. And don't be mean with chocolate. Don't be mean with glue, but kind of be mean with paint. It's the opposite, really. As long as you have enough paint to cover something, it's enough. You don't have to go mad, because you can see that some of mine in the center, it's just a little bit wet, but it's drying already. If you look at that there, you can see it in the light. The shiny bits are wet and the not shiny bits are dry already. So if you do the right amount of paint, it dries quick. And when you're trying to do something in 40 minutes, you want to be able to finish it. But even if it's a little bit wet, we'll finish it today. Because we don't mind getting a little bit of paint on us. We've got our clothes protected and all that kind of stuff. And guys, this week is Mental Health Week. So a lot of people are talking about things that make them happy, and arts and crafts make me really happy. And they calm me down when I'm, upset or angry. I like to paint a picture. So if you'd like to send me a little video and then tell me what makes you happy in arts and crafts, that would be kind of cool for our Instagram page. If you like, you can do that. Okay. So we're doing stuff like that this week. And there'll also be a free class up on the YouTube channel in a few weeks, and I'll tell you when it's going up as well. It's just a little bonus class that you could do at the weekend, just with supplies that you have in your own houses, that I'm doing for one of the stage schools in Cork here. I do little mental health week stuff for them, so they'll be sharing that and everyone can watch it. So you can send it on to your friends who aren't in class as well, because they don't need anything from their supply box. Okay. Right, I'm almost finished painting my plate. How are you guys getting on with yours? Is there anybody else finished or almost finished? My goodness, Eve has flown through it. Isabel flew through it. The Omertigs are flying. Look at the colours in that. Amazing, loads of colours. Well done, guys. Fabulous. So we're working away here and we're almost done. That is fantastic. And I have red paint all over my hands, and do I care? No. I like getting messy with my arts and crafts. Okay, because we can always wash them in our aprons afterwards. I forgot to put on my own apron as well, so that was clever, wasn't it? I told all of you to put on an apron and I didn't. Emma Jane, that's beautiful. Well done. The rainbow. Good girl. Well done. Fantastic, lads. Now, when you're cleaning your brushes, guys, remember what we said the last time? Just clean them like this. Don't do it like you're really angry with the brush. So we're going to go back and forth like this, just to dry it off, okay? Because I might use a different colour for my legs. Well, not my legs. The legs on my desktop organizer. Okay, so I'm going to pop my plate to one side for a minute just to dry off, okay? And I'm just going to pop it over here. I was going to say you could put it in a window and the sun would dry it, but it's not that sunny today. So just put it somewhere where it can dry and won't get in the way. Okay, now if you're finished your plate, I'm going to move on to the legs, okay? Now, if you're not, it's okay. I'll go back and do this again in a minute, so don't worry, okay? You're going to use these for your legs. So you've got your toilet roll insert, the inside of a toilet roll. And we're just going to kind of squash the middle a little bit. I just squeezed it together with my fingers, and I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut it in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to make 2 smaller sections. All right. So all I did was squash the middle a little bit, took my scissors and cut it in half. Okay, like that. Okay, now my front ones are a bit bigger than my back ones, but you know what? It's all right, guys. You don't have to be perfectly even if you don't want them to be, okay? And then I'm going to just, because they're a bit squashed, I'm going to make them into a circle again, just by kind of pushing them around to make them more circular again. And all I'm going to do with these is paint them. So I'm going to choose a different colour for the legs. You can choose the same colour as the card that you have. So you can see that I painted my first one red, so it would match his head and his tail. But then on the one I did yesterday, I kind of did a kind of a fire colour theme. So I had orange legs, a yellow body and a red head and a red tail. Well done, Connor and Emma Jane. They're fantastic. Well done, guys. Brilliant. You can move on to the legs now if you're finished with the painting of the bodies. Okay, so you can do any colour you want. You can decorate the legs again with marker, or if you like. You can give them toenails, you know, the way dinosaurs have these giant toenails. Or like, you know, elephants' feet, the way they've got big giant toenails. So you could do stuff like that if you like. I'm just going to paint mine in one colour the whole way around. And I'm just going to use the same paintbrush because I cleaned it after I painted the plate. And I think I'm going to do a nice kind of purple colour on this. It's a very dark purple, I think this colour is, but we'll see. And a little hint for when you're painting the tubes, you can put your fingers in the middle like this and paint it like this. And you don't really get a lot of paint on your hand that way. If you're trying to hold on to the tube to paint it, you get it all over your fingers. But if you do it this way, you don't really get very much on. Okay, it's a little top tip. And I'm just going to paint the 2 of them the same colour, but you guys can have 2 different colour legs. There's no rules, you know that. Whatever makes you happy. It's your design, okay? So I'm just going to paint this away here now. Well done. What colours have you guys chosen? I know we've got some rainbow colours and I've got some stripes and oh, that's really lovely. Well done, guys. Oh, the blue is gorgeous. Is that a purple, Roisin? Yeah, it's the same colour as mine. I think it's a nice dark purple. Well done, Eve. And you're doing yellow legs, is it? Well done. Oh, and I love it. You're doing, Rian and Oren are doing kind of multicoloured feet and legs. Well done. That's brilliant. And black as well. Yeah.
I did tiny pink swirls around.
Lovely. Nice. That's gorgeous. Well done. And when you're finished with the plate, don't forget to put it somewhere that it'll dry and you won't get it, won't knock it over, okay? So I'm just spinning this around on my hand as I'm painting. And I'm hardly getting any paint on my fingers here. I think we're all onto the legs now as well. So well done, guys. Your flyers on my Wednesday class are flyers. It's great. You get things done really quickly. Fantastic. Thank you, guys, for those of you who send in all your lovely pictures for the virtual gallery. Make sure you do it, like you can take a couple of pictures for a couple of weeks. It doesn't have to be for this week. And you can send it to me. I just love seeing your artwork and showing it off. So don't worry, don't forget about that. So I'm going to keep going now like this. And all the way around like that. Okay, now, fantastic. So one of mine is done. My lovely purple leg is done. And you don't have to paint the inside, just the outside, because you won't see the middle in the middle. So I'm going to pop that with my plate over here just to dry. And I'm going to move on to my second one. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing for that. But as I said, guys, you can do 2 different ones if you want. You can do 2 different colours if you like. It's completely up to yourself, okay? And I'm just going to paint away here. Painting makes me very happy. I've always really liked painting, even from when I was really small. And I had a teacher in school who wasn't a very nice teacher. And she gave out to me one time because I painted purple leaves on a tree. And she said, oh, leaves aren't purple. Leaves are green. And I got really upset. And I used to do art outside of school. And I said to my art teacher, my teacher in school gave out to me because I didn't do green leaves. And she sang me a really cool song. which was about leaves can be any colour you want. And I always remember that. So I always say to my students now, you know what? Whatever comes out of your imagination, you can do. There's no right or wrong in art. You can do whatever you want. There's just little top tips of things that making it easier, but there's no right or wrong way to paint something. Sure there's not, guys? No. And do you know what the funny thing is? Later on, I lived in Australia, and there's a tree in Australia that has purple leaves. So I was right all along. There you go. So there, it's nice. It's a nice little thing. I should look up the song and send it to you on YouTube. I think that would be cool. It's a really nice song. But that makes me really happy that you can do whatever colour you want. And I love the feeling of paint and clay and stuff between my fingers, all wet, smushy clay. I also love slime. Do you guys like slime? Yeah, I'm getting loads of nods. I bet you guys like slime more than your parents do, though. I don't think your parents like slime very much.
I never had any slime though, so I don't really know if I like slime or don't like slime.
Really? Oh, and we might have to put up a recipe on the Facebook page for slime someday. So maybe glittery slime. No,
I do play Minecraft and there's slimes in it, but they do attack you.
Oh, well, that's not great, is it?
I'm kind of coming away from liking slime. But I'm not very good at Minecraft. My brother's very good at Minecraft. He's 5 years older than me.
Oh, yeah. It's a hard game, actually.
I'm 8, so...
It's a hard game. My son plays it too. Right, now guys, I've got my legs painted. Well, not my legs, but the legs of my dinosaur. And I've got my dinosaur body, so my plate painted. So the next thing you need to do, just while people are finishing off painting the legs, if you're done with painting the legs, here's a little trick that I'm going to teach you, okay? So I'm going to go through all of the stickers that I have left, and I'm going to see what kind of, I suppose, scales that I want to give my dinosaur, okay? So I've made, these ones are circles, and these ones are kind of half circles or kind of an oval shape. I'm going to see what other shapes I've left. I think I might have a few stars. And the trick here is to do something like we were doing when we made our lanterns, and you can make a shape into a different shape. So I have, I've got some big stars left. So what I think I might do is I might cut the tops of my stars off and make spikes. So I would have 5 different spikes here. So I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to cut off the spikes. So this is what you could be doing if you're waiting on other people to finish painting. You could just be getting the stickers ready to stick on to your dinosaur's back, okay? So what I've done, look, is I've cut off all of the pointy sections from my star. And now I've got 5 of these spikes or these triangles that I can stick on to my dinosaur. And I'm going to see what other colours I have. And I'm going to see if I can match the colours of maybe the legs and the spikes on my dinosaur. So I'm going to have a look for a purple. Oh, here we go. I've got a lovely purple star. And I'm going to just cut the spikes off that, the pointy bits, to make some spikes. And that's what I'm going to stick on my one. Now, you can do, if you had a big square, that can be any shape really. But you wanted a circle, you could put the circle in the middle of the square and just cut around it or draw around it. Well done, Connor. That's perfect. Brilliant. Pop it over to the side now to dry. Well done. Perfect. Because we need to give it enough time to dry. Okay. So I'm just cutting all of the spikes off this one, as I said. So look, I've got kind of a diamond shape now and I cut off all the spikes. All right. So I've got pink and purple spikes. And I might do some red ones as well, just to see if I have a red star there. Maybe I might do some red, but I might not. Actually, I've got pink and purple. I think that's kind of cool. That might do, or I might do a yellow one. Yeah, I look for yellow. So if you're finished with all of your painting the legs and painting the plate, you can just move on to getting your stickers ready to stick on as the spikes or these scales on his back. I wonder actually, does anybody know, do any of you guys know what the spikes on a dinosaur's back are called? Are they scales? Does anybody know that? Emma Jane's like, I don't know. We should probably look that up, shouldn't we? I'm calling them scales. But if you know the answer, you can message me with the right answer. I'm always learning things from this class. Okay, guys, so I have just got all of my... Your what? What are they called? Plates. Is that what they're called? Hang on. Did you put it in the chat? That's interesting. That's really cool. So you know the answer to the... So there you go. You see, you're teaching me stuff and I'm teaching you stuff. I think that's pretty cool. Isn't it, guys? Well done. That's perfect. I will remember that. I will. Plates. Now, okay. So I got lots of pointy bits from some of the stars that I had.
I don't have.
That's lovely, Eve. That's really good.
I don't have any.
That's okay.
So I'm just trying to.
That's cool. Now
I'm painting a bit with different colors.
Well done. Well done. You need to keep some of that white paper though for the eye to stick on the card as well, because we're going to do the eyes in white paper.
No, I got it from a different.
Oh, that's okay. That's
no,
grand.
I didn't take it from the white. I took it from the photocopy in the house.
Oh, cool. So you have extra paper. House. Now, what you can use if you don't have any stickers left, guys, is the top part here of the card that you're going to use. Okay, so that's my suggestion. So you can cut out sections of the card. You can cut out sections of the card and use that instead. All right. I think my internet's a bit dodgy today. It's going in and out because of the storm. So if you miss a bit, just tell me. Okay. So you can use some card if you don't have any stickers, and you can cut whatever shapes you want out of the card instead of the stickers. Stickers are just ready-made shapes, so that's kind of handy too. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to move on and I'm going to make the tail and the head, all right? So I'm going to take my card and I'm going to draw with my pen or my marker. I'm going to use a purple one, just any other colour will do. I'm going to draw a big letter C, okay? And I'm going to go over here towards the edge like we always do. And I'm going to draw a big letter C like this, okay? And on the letter C, I'm going to do kind of a circle, almost a full circle. And then another small C underneath. Okay, now I'll do that again. So that's the head for my dinosaur. Because I have him kind of looking backwards. He's going, what are you doing? What are you putting on my back? What's the story there? What are these things? So that's why that's my character of my dinosaur. Okay, so I'll show you that again. So what I've done is I took my marker and I drew the big letter C. Okay. And then I drew most of a circle on top and a smaller C underneath. Okay, now I know it's backwards for you guys because it's on the camera. But we drew a C, it's almost a full circle, and a smaller C, okay? And that's how I did the head. So I'm going to cut that out next. If you want me to do any of this again, guys, just ask. I'll go over these things again a second time, so don't worry, all right? So when I cut it out, I'm going to cut it out roughly like we always do. And then we're going to be a little bit neater with less card so it's not as fiddly, okay? So I'm going to cut that out, and this is going to be a lovely head for my dinosaur. Okay, so I'm going to cut that out and I'm going to go all the way around. And when you cut along the line, guys, you can kind of see the head of the dinosaur kind of coming to life a little bit. Okay, like that, so you can kind of see it now. There you go. And I'm going to cut that out as neatly as I can. Now, guys, it doesn't have to be perfect. I always say that. Now, that's just my suggestion on how to do a long neck dinosaur with a head. You can do any shape head you want. If you want to do a triangle for a head or a square for a head or a big circle for a head, you can do that. It's up to you. Don't make it too big because it might topple over. Okay, so we need to be nice and neat. Isabel, do you have a question for me? You can just unmute. Good girl.
How do you make the head?
Yeah, I'll do that again for you. Don't worry. Okay, so I'm going to take my marker. All right. And I'm drawing a letter C. C for cow. Okay. So I'm doing a big letter C like this. Like that. Okay. All right, then I'm going to do most of a circle onto the top of the C, like that. And then I'm going to do a smaller C inside, like this. Is that okay, Isabel? Yeah, so we've done a letter C, most of a circle, and then a smaller one, okay? Brilliant, so she's got it. Fantastic. Now, for the tail, I'm going to do a backwards C. I know this one was backwards for you because you're looking at it on the camera, but I'm going to go the other way, okay? So I went this way with my head. I'm going to do this way with my tail. And I'll show you in a second. I'm going to join the top of it up. And it's kind of like you're drawing a half moon, okay? So I did most of a letter C backwards, joined up another one at the top and did a smaller one in the inside of it, okay? But again, guys, that's just my shape tail. If you want to make a squiggly one, you can. You can do, I suppose you could do one that's kind of like Minecraft, that's kind of squares or zigzag up and down. You could do that as well if you like. It's any shape you want to draw for your dinosaur. But just remember not to make it too big because we want him to stand up. And if it's too big, it'll fall over. Are you okay, Eve?
There's no circles in Minecraft, so there can't be zigzags.
Yeah, but if you do two squares like this together, and you put them back to back, I'll show you one sec now. I'll show you what I mean. So if you had like this shape, if you had loads of squares together, they would be zigzag, you know, up and down, up and down. Yep. The wavy one would be the circles. So there you go. Now, when we have the tail done and the head done, we're just going to use our scissors and we're going to cut those out. And again, I'm just cutting it out roughly on my card. And you've got all of this card left to play with, okay? So if you wanted to make another one of these, there's another paper plate in your pack. And there's some of this card left over. So you could absolutely make two. Maybe one for a friend or a granny or granddad or someone you know who's working from home who might like a little desk organizer. It's something that you could have, all right? Or if you're like Eve and you don't have any stickers left over, you can use that leftover card to make whatever shape you want for the plates on the back of the dinosaur, okay? What I was calling the scales earlier, but they're called plates apparently. Okay, right. So I've got my tail cut out and I've got my head cut out, okay? So I've got the two of those. How are we getting on, guys? How are we? Are we okay? Yeah, we're on the tails and the heads and all that kind of stuff. Fantastic. Oh, that's fabulous. Rian and Oren are busy cutting out blue tails and heads. Well done, Roisin. Purple is gorgeous. Well done. Oh, and we've got a lovely blue head and tail there, and the plates are fabulous. Well done, guys. So we've got all of that done. Next thing we're going to do while our plate and our legs are drying is we need to give the dinosaur a face. We need to give him a bit of personality. Like I always say, when you give something eyes or eyebrows or a face, it just really gives it a personality. Now you can do whatever face you want on your dinosaur, but I've chosen to do those really cool manga eyes that we did in week 1 on our owls. And that's what I'm going to do on white paper. So if you want to do the same as me, I'm just going to take my white paper and I'm going to cut straight away a small square out of the corner, okay? And that means you have all this paper left over to do whatever you want with. Draw a picture with it, make another eye for another one during the week, okay? So you have all that card left over and you have all that paper left over to do whatever you want with, okay? And another paper plate. Well done, Eve, that's fabulous. So I'm going to just draw the eye on this and I'm going to show you. You can do this in any colour you want. So I'm actually going to do mine in purple and to match the legs. And I'm just going to draw a circle on my piece of paper. And I'm not going to throw it away. My piece of paper, just a circle. And I'm going to do a letter U at the top and a rainbow shape at the bottom. And I'll show you what I mean. So a letter U at the top, like that. Okay. And a rainbow shape on the bottom. And look, guys, it's not perfect. It kind of looks like a slitter, actually, or a tennis ball at the moment. Purple and white slitter. And I'm going to colour in the middle section purple. Now you guys can do it in black or whatever colour you want. It's up to you. But I'm going to do mine in a kind of a magenta, kind of purpley colour. And that is going to be my eye. And when it's done, I'm just going to cut it out and glue it on to the face of my dinosaur. Okay, so off I go. I keep wanting to call him a dragon, but he's not a dragon, he's a dinosaur. Okay.
How do you know your dinosaur isn't a girl?
Yeah, I suppose. I think I'm making a boy though. I kind of had decided. So I am going to use my glue to stick on the eye, and I'm just, because it's small, like I always say, if you want to just pop the small thing onto the top of the glue and use your finger just to move it around, you get less glue on your hands. And that's another little trick. Okay, and I'm going to glue that on there. All right, so I'm going to pop it on to the head of my dinosaur like that. Okay, and now I'm just going to give him a smile because I like happy dinosaurs. But your dinosaur might not be happy. Maybe he's terrifying. Maybe he's just eaten someone. Maybe he's sad. Maybe he's grumpy. So you can do whatever kind of style mouth you want. I'm just giving mine a little half smile like that on mine. Okay, so whatever kind of little face you want to give him, it's up to you. Yeah. Okay. Now I have all of
Angela.
Yes.
And the dinosaur that we're making is actually
1 second, Eve.
It's a hairy dinosaur. It doesn't eat meat.
Oh, right, yeah. It's a herbivore. A herbivore. Connor, what were you showing me? What were you showing me?
We use googly eyes for the eyes.
Amazing. So you've got googly eyes at home that you can use. That's perfect. He's brilliant. Well done. Perfect. Now, that's mine. And this is my tail. So I've got a head and a tail. I've got my 2 legs. And you know what? They're almost dry. They're only a little bit wet. And my plate is mostly dry, okay? And that's good enough for me. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to cut my plate in half. Okay? If you want, you can fold it over to cut it in half to make a line like this. Fold it with the paint on the outside. And it's not fully dry, so I am getting a little bit of paint on my hands, but that's what aprons are for and what your little tissue is for. So don't worry if you're getting a little bit of paint. Mm-hmm.
Do we fold it in half or do we cut it?
You can cut it. So I was saying if this might be easier for some people if you want to fold it and then cut along the line, or you can just cut it in half. Okay. So it needs to be cut either way. So if you want to fold it first and then cut it, that's cool. If you want to just cut it in half and just go for it, you can do that too. Okay. And so I'm going to cut mine in half there now. I'm going to cut along the line that I just made. And it's okay if we get a little bit of paint on our hands, guys. That's fine. We will just wash them in a minute. Okay. So I've got 2 halves of a plate. I've got the face ready to go to stick on. And I've got the legs are ready to go as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to choose one side of the plate to be the front of my my dinosaur, because you'll see I've got half it on the back and there's nothing stuck on this one, and half on the front and everything is stuck on the front one. Okay, so I'm going to choose, I have one bit of my plate that's a little bit neater than the other, so I'm going to use that one for the front of my dinosaur. Okay, what I'm going to do now is you can kind of see that the paper plate is moving up like this because this is the bit we painted where people eat off of. But what we're going to do is we're just going to push it out like this. Just use our fingers to push it out to make it go the other way. So it kind of has become this shape. And I'll do that again, okay? Yeah. Yes, Connor?
We stick the stickers on now.
You do. You stick them on the back, Connor, okay? So that's what we're going to do there. We're just pushing out the plate. And on the back here, we're going to stick on your stickers. But we're not using the sticky bit. We're going to put glue on the front and stick it on like that. So you can see the colour on it. Okay, it's better if I do the purple here. So if I stuck it on this way, it would all be sticky. But I'm going to put a little bit of glue on it and stick them on that way. Okay, like this. What I'm going to do first, so I know where to stick the stickers, is I'm going to stick the head and the tail on first. So I'm going to stick the head on one side and the tail on the other side, and then I'm going to do all of the plates in the middle and the bits that I have left over. So I'm going to put a bit of glue here on the front and glue it on, okay? So I'm just going to rub my bottom of the neck along the glue like this. And I'm just going to pop it on here to the end here. So I've glued it on the back here, okay? But I put the glue on the front of my my lovely drawing. And I'm going to do the same thing with the tail. I'm going to put glue on the front bit and stick it on the back of the plate. So I'm going to grab that and just rub it along the top of the glue just to make sure I'm not getting any on my fingers, and pop it on the plate like that, okay? Now I've got all of this space up here to stick on my stickers, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put a bit of glue on all of my stickers. So I'm going to go in the front, putting the glue on the front. You can see it there on the purple bit, and I'm going to pop that on here. Okay, so he's got little spikes, and I'm just going to go all the way across with all of my stickers, and I'm going to keep going until I have all of the ones that I want to stuck on. Okay, so I've got lovely purple ones and pink ones and yellow ones. So I'm going to do purple, yellow, pink, purple, yellow, pink, purple, yellow, pink until I get to the end, all right? So that's really simple to do. So we're just putting it on the front of the sticker and sticking it on. Okay, and again, so I've 2 done there now, and I'm going to move along here. So I've 3 done. So I have 3 of those lovely little spikes stuck on already. Okay, yeah, Isabel, do you have a question?
You cut the plate in half.
You do, yeah. So you cut the plate in half, and then you start to stick stuff on, okay? So when you cut the plate in half, make sure that you're sticking the head and the tail on first at the back, the bit you don't want to see, the bit on the inside, okay? I'm going to stick a yellow bit on. Here we go. Well done. That is fabulous, Connor. Well done. Well done. You're still gluing away like mad there. Okay, so I'm going to stick my yellow bit on and a pink bit. And this bit is the bit you can have a lot of fun with, guys, as well, sticking on these little different shapes. We had somebody yesterday and they just stuck on lots of different shapes. So they had like a star, a square, a circle, star, a square, a circle on theirs. So it didn't have to be exactly the same. So this one's all spiky. These ones were circles. And I cut these ones to be kind of an oval shape as well, okay? So you can see at the back of mine what it looks like. So I'm just sticking on the stickers, and I'm leaving on the sticky bit on the stickers. I'm putting glue on the front of all of my shapes. Okay, so I'm going to keep going. I'm going to stick another purple one on until I run out of space on my paper plate. It's interesting that the things on their back are called plates and we're making it out of a plate. Isn't that cool? And so I'm going to keep going. I'm almost there sticking mine on. Now I know I'm going very fast, but I need to get my whole one done before the end of class. You guys can take your time with this. And if you need to go back, well done, Emma Jane, that's beautiful. If you need to go back and do it, another bit of it in a minute, that's absolutely fine, okay? So I'm going to stick on my last one here now. So now I've got all of my spines or my spikes or my plates stuck on my dinosaur's back like that. And you can see them all at the back. That's what they look like, okay? Well done, guys. Now the next thing we're going to do, if you want to take a break from sticking on those, guys, for a second, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure where I want to put the feet. And how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to hold my plate and I'm going to get one of the feet like this. And I'm just going to move it in, maybe not on the bit that's the edge of the plate, so not the bit that has the little stripes on it, just on the middle here. And I'm going to take a marker and I'm just going to mark where it's meeting it here. So there's a little mark here. I'll do it actually in black so you can see it, guys. So there's a little mark here and a little mark here on this side. Okay, if you can see that. I did 2 little marks, so I held it up there. And I've done 2 little marks where I want to put the leg. And I'm going to do the same on the other side over here. Okay, now you might need a bit of help with this, guys. And this is much easier to do if it's lying down on a table. It's difficult for me to do it in the air, okay? So there you go. I've marked 2 of where the legs should be. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So we've done that on both sides, okay? So is everyone okay with that? Yeah, we're working away there, guys. Well done. Okay, so when you have those 2 marks made on either side, so I've got 2 for one leg and 2 for the other leg. Well done, guys. Okay, I'm going to put both of my plates together like this. Okay, so I've marked this one and I'm going to put the marked one on top of the other one. All right, so I've marked where I want the feet to go. And I will do this again in 1 second, so don't worry, okay? So I've marked where I want the feet to go on one. And I'm going to pop it on top of the other one for a second. And I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to do a little snip with my scissors along that line here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm going to cut along that little line that I made with my marker. So I've done little slits here, you can see it. I've done a little slit here, a little slit here, a little slit here, and a little slit here, okay? So I've got 4 little slits done. So I'll do that again, guys, just in case anyone is stuck, because this is the trickiest bit, okay? So I took my plate, the back of my dinosaur, and my little tube for the feet, and I just held it up against it and marked it with a marker on either side. On both sides I did that, okay? Then I popped it in front of the other one, held them together, and just used my scissors and cut a long little snip on those lines that I did, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pop on my foot. So I'm just going to put it in here in the little slit, and it sits in like that, okay? And I'm going to do the same on the other side. And these are much easier to do if you're doing them on a table, okay, like that. So I have 2 on, okay? Now, if you wanted to just do that much for a friend, you can totally do that. But I want to do one to put more stuff in it. So I'm going to put another one on the back. So I'm just going to turn it around and pop it on the back. And just slide it in those little slits on both sides. It's a little bit tricky. Okay, like that. Now it's a bit squashed in the middle, so I'm just going to push my hand in there and just make a little bit more space. So you can kind of see there's a little space in the middle here for you can put cards, maybe birthday cards you want to keep, or maybe postcards that somebody sent you that you don't want to throw away because you like them, or letters you've written and you're waiting to get a stamp and post them. You can pop them in there, or you can stick bigger things like rulers or glue into the middle. And you can use all the sides of it to put in your art supplies. So you've got your scissors, you've got your markers in the front maybe, like that. You could put in your spare card that you had from this week in the middle here, like that, just to keep it safe. Whatever you like. And that is how you do your desktop dinosaurs. So here's one I did today. Here's a slightly different one I did yesterday with my little rounded back on it. And here's a rainbow one that I did with a bit of help from my son who did the painting the other day. So they're my 3 designs. And you guys will have enough to do another one if you wanted to make a present for Mother's Day is coming up. So you might want to do that. Or maybe it's someone's birthday that you know. All right, so how did we get on, guys? You're still sticking it together and assembling there like mad. Well done. Absolutely brilliant, Roisin. Gorgeous. Isabel, yeah, you had a question?
Do you put this bit on the back?
You do, yeah. You put the other piece on the back, yeah. You don't have to do it, but you can because it gives you more little spaces to put things on. Well done. And Emma Jane and Connor's mum is working away. They're doing all the cutting. They're putting it to work. Oh my goodness, that is fantastic. I love all the different spines on the front. And the blue, oh, the rainbow on the back is fabulous on that one. Well done. How are we getting on, Rian and Oren? Oh, I love it. Look at all the colours. Well done. Guys, they are fantastic. Alexander's working away there as well. Well done, guys. Fantastic. They look fantastic. Well done. And remember to take photographs and send them on to me. And enjoy creating it. Oh, the rainbow dinosaur is epic. Well done. That is so cool with all the spikes at the back. Love it, Isabel. Well done, Roisin. Well done, everybody. Well done, Frida. Well done, everybody. I will see you next week. Bye, guys. Thanks. Thanks for today. See you later.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. You're welcome. See you guys.